Okay, now should be live. It's already over thingy here. Let's go a little bit down. Can it actually hear me? I think it's still fine. Can you say something?
Hello?
It should be fine. There, I also see that it's something going. Wait. Yeah, that should be fine.
There is too much.
I don't know.
Actually not.
I think it's fine like that. Let me check real quick. Can I also check it here?
Yeah, I think so.
Or is the normal studio app? On the normal YouTube app. That I just like can see, you know.
When you're live.
Cool. Seems not. I don't know. That's history. It has to be here when here live.
Other?
See, but yeah, okay, that works actually. Perfect. Exactly, that's what I want.
And how much you was here?
Nothing, I think.
There.
Super little.
It's fine then.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna do also the test.
Yep.
I'm just gonna record there.
Okay.
Hello. Test. Hola. Can you also talk?
Hello. I think should also be fine, maybe.
Okay, now I'm gonna. Oh, not bad. Of course, you don't hear too much from you, but.
Okay.
But maybe you can just like.
Yeah, or we do this a little bit like this.
Mm-hmm. But the sound of the song is fine.
Okay. Perfect.
Whatever is the first one, so let's see.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you ready?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, lol, here.
Here you have to put it low. Sorry, we are just setting up everything.
No, it's still not live.
Yeah, but I'm live.
Oh.
Can just take a few hours or minutes until we are ready.
Hours, never.
Who are you? What are you?
Oh my god, these descriptions.
Oh, you turned on the lights from your chair?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I think. Super fun.
What the fuck?
Ay.
Nice.
Hola.
Hello.
¿Cómo están, chiquillos? Un podcast sorpresa. En realidad, hoy no vamos a jugar. we are not gonna play today as we usually do.
Yep, true.
So it's gonna be my first time trying to make a podcast, and will be the first time uh, for us doing a podcast together. So ya, vamos a empezar, chiquillos. Ahí estaré hablando en español e inglés porque mi esposo está aprendiendo español. Y bueno, tiene preguntas interesantes de cómo es vivir en otro país. Bueno, yo migré a Suiza con él y no ha sido fácil, pero me gustaría pues contarles cómo es toda esta etapa difícil de dejar el país que uno más ama por el amor de la vida. So I have to leave the country for the love of my life, which is you. Y pues bueno, ahí estaré cambiando de español a inglés. He's a blogger. He loves to do photography of nature. That's why we also met each other. Por eso fue que nos conocimos en Costa Rica. Él estuvo haciendo un viaje por Centroamérica y ahí fue donde nos conocimos en Costa Rica. It was the first time that he visited Costa Rica and we met each other. So it was an interesting story. And that's why we want to make this podcast. And yeah, let's see if you also guys have interesting questions like how we met each other. Y sí, de cómo nos conocimos y si tienen alguna curiosidad de, no sé, de preguntarnos de cómo hicimos para vivir juntos ahora en Suiza. It's my first year officially. Bueno, mi primer año, un poquito más, like 2 months already, a year.
October last year.
October last year. Así que, pues bueno, empecemos. He has a lot of questions for me. So you have a lot of questions.
A few, not a lot.
A few.
We don't overdo it here. But
yeah, it's not gonna take too long, this podcast, but we're trying to, I don't know, like entertain you guys a little bit and to learn stuff.
you just say how it really is, not only the fake version that you see in the internet, because it's not always easy, as we know. So yeah, you have been here for 1 year and 2 months, almost 3 months with me now. So 1 year is a long time.
Yeah,
How would you describe your year, like in one full sentence, maybe one short sentence or like a long sentence, however you like? How you would describe your year here in Switzerland with me?
I like the question. One sentence maybe would be like, it has been hard. Ha sido muy difícil mi primer año dejar mi país. Pero también he aprendido muchas cosas y hemos aprendido muchas cosas. We have learned a lot each other together, like how is living together, and also all the culture difference, as people always say, like, oh, it's not that easy to, I don't know, like share different cultures or different thoughts. Eso es muy difícil siempre. El hecho de que tal vez como ticos, si tienes una pareja tica los dos, es un poco más fácil pues compartir los mismos pensamientos. But for us, sometimes, like in the first time was a little bit difficult to understand each other. Like for him, it's more structure, and for me, it's more like, like a tico, like, chill, chill, we don't need too much time. And for him, it's just like, oh, we need to plan ahead. So sometimes we have that problem.
Yeah, the thing is here, like things are completely different, and I think also now you understand more, like why I think that way or why I handle stuff in that like more structured way, because it's sometimes just like not possible differently, or it's just like difficult handle it like the more chill way, which I definitely like, but it's just like difficult to execute this here.
That's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, in summary, difficult year, but not in a bad way. So that's how I said it.
Yeah. I think there were like a lot of ups and downs, but like the downs were definitely like higher weighted, I would say, like in that year, because just like difficult to adjust for you, and also for both of us was the first time like being with someone so close, you know.
That's so true. And I don't know, like it's always like people think about like, oh, it's so easy, and like, oh, you're never gonna miss your country, or like, you're gonna have a perfect life now that you're out of Costa Rica or Central America. That's just a lie, you know. Like I have to say, like for all the videos that you see there, like people saying like, oh, my perfect life abroad, it's not perfect. And you guys that are still living in Costa Rica, you don't have to even like be jealous about stuff outside. Of course, like nature in other countries, not only in Switzerland, but like in any other country that you want to visit. Like, yes, it's amazing as a tourist, but when you leave your country of origin, is totally different. And it's not that all those Instagram or like influencer people that always say like, "Oh, this is I never miss my country." Like that's just bullshit.
I mean, I would not miss Switzerland, that's for sure,
Yeah.
because yeah, it's just like special here. But yeah, I think overall, like in the end, we handled this year pretty good, I would say.
Yeah.
Like for how difficult it was. Um, but yeah, there were definitely different phases. Like from like getting here until like realizing how it really is. So, like, my next question would be like, for you, which month was like the hardest here and why?
Okay. So, in Spanish, just in case, ¿cuál fue mi mes más difícil? And what was it? Sorry. The month.
The hardest
The
month.
hardest month.
Yeah, and
Right.
why? Why?
¿Y por qué? ¿Por qué ha sido? ¿Cuál fue el mes más difícil y por qué? Okay, so my hardest month I think was after 4 months that I started living here. So I guess it was like January
February,
or
January, February,
yeah,
something like
exactly
that.
like January, February, because you know, like the first 3 months you are like so excited because woo, such a new culture. You feel like that you can start your life again like for the best, you know, like that all your dreams are gonna be come true as partners, you know, like it's so easy, soon you're gonna get a job, or soon you're gonna learn so easy the language. But it's not true, you know, like when you pass like the 3 months, then it's like a roller coaster of emotions. And then you feel like um, I have to confess that, you know, you end up in depression, you end up like going crazy because like you are in a new place but you don't have like a lot of money because you don't have a work, you know, even though your couple of course help you like a lot, because that's what I'm most grateful for, because he has been super patient with me. And I always have been this type of girl, like independent girl, that I you know, like I had my own apartment house in Costa Rica. I rented, of course. I also had my own job. I also started my own projects, application, and you know, I had this chill life of like being like, oh, I can buy my stuff, like whatever I want to buy, you know. But then you start from zero, then you realize your bank account is going down and down, like all your savings. So for me, yeah, I have to say, like, is after the 3 months, yeah, that's like the most hardest one. Y sí, en resumen, esos han sido el mes más difícil, fue el cuarto mes, porque no sé, uno anda con esa ilusión de, ay, seguro pronto voy a tener un trabajo o pronto me van a contratar, porque yo apliqué en muchos lugares, también apliqué en lugares para ayuda de conseguir trabajo, eh, no quiero presumir, pero sí tengo mis certificados de la universidad, todo, y a veces uno piensa que, ay, porque tengo certificados de
Mhm.
bachillerato en la universidad o lo que sea, es súper fácil encontrar trabajo. Yo me preparé, se lo juro, hicimos una investigación de qué carreras eran fáciles de certificar acá o que no tenías que certificar títulos ni nada. Y la verdad que eso no importa, o sea, cuando estás en otro país, ellos siempre, siempre le van a dar prioridad a la gente que es nacional. They always will give you the opportunity if you're national, like before someone from abroad.
Yeah, actually, it's legally handled like that. So they have to have a reason to hire someone from outside before hiring someone like local. But that actually, I'm not sure like if it applies also when you're like here living here already.
Mm.
So yeah, it's kind of difficult to say that, but definitely like the processes and everything was also kind of difficult, but that was more like upfront before you were here, I think.
Yeah.
But also here after, like with job applications, like we applied for like months and months. So it's just like every day sending applications, every day the same struggle kind of. So that was like definitely a difficult situation, like in the first few months. I think the first 2 months in my side of you was more like nice because we were in long distance and we were like, hey, nice, we are together. We were like happy to be together. I mean, we're still happy to be together. Don't get me wrong, but we were happy, super happy, and then like with the time we realized, oh shit, it's not that easy. So after like I think exactly as you said, after 4 months, you still didn't have like a job, and you were like giving like everything. So it was a difficult situation back then.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Yeah, but let's also not only talk about like the most difficult stuff. So maybe also like which month, let's say when we talk about months, which months was like your best month here, and also why?
Okay,
And
that.
the
Uh-huh.
part where you go back to Costa Rica doesn't count.
but that, but that was too early because then I end up in December going, so
Yeah.
it's not the 3 first months.
Ah, yeah, true, true, true.
Um, bueno, después de hablar de lo malo, de lo triste, ¿cuál fue mi mes más feliz cuando me moví a Suiza? Eh, fue en mi cumpleaños, fue en marzo, porque, bueno, planeamos un viaje, obviamente porque yo estaba bastante depresiva y él ya estaba así como, ¿qué podemos hacer como para levantar esos ánimos? Y nos fuimos a Turquía. Amo los gatos. Si lo ven, obvio, hay más gatos atrás. Eh, y para mí fue Turquía porque fue como ese momento de paz o de olvidar toda la parte, pues, triste o mala y estar en un país donde puedes tener la oportunidad de conocer tantas cosas tan chivas y el hecho de conectar con los gatitos, porque yo tuve que, eso fue una parte emocional, yo tuve que dejar a mis gatitos en Costa Rica. Hicimos un research de cómo traernos a mis animalitos y todo, pero también pensé que pues los dejan en una semana en cuarentena. También el hecho de que pasan todo, son 12, 13 horas o 14 horas de viaje y no puedes estar con ellos. Entonces, fueron muchas cosas en la mente que yo al final, pues, obviamente los dejé con mis papás. Eh, y obviamente cuando yo estuve en Turquía y vi tantos gatitos y pude estar ahí acariciándolos y donde llegaban y todo, entonces siento como que ese fue mi momento de paz o de alegría, como para decir, eh, sé que puedo lograr esto, sé que puedo sobrellevar esta situación de vivir fuera del país y obviamente no estoy sola, estoy con él. I was like struggling a lot, but then when I went to Turkey, then
Mm.
I was able to connect with my cats, which I miss them miss them a lot.
Mm.
So I think that's my answer, like what was my happiest moment. And still, like either like when every time that we go outside to explore new countries, of course I love to be together and everything, but like I think that's the most special part, like that it made me realize that I could keep going and that it's possible to find a job and to have a
Mm.
better quality life, to support him as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I think also like we were struggling, as you said, like in February, and then it was super important to take that like vacation in March to get like distance a little bit, to just like don't think too much,
Mhm.
because that's also like a difficult part, because when you are struggling like we did, then you cannot enjoy that moment, or you're not living in the moment. So because we are
Mhm.
always thinking about like what's gonna be, how it's gonna turn out, and that like was super difficult for us. So I think there was super important that we take the Turkey trip and discover like Istanbul. I
Mhm.
think from my side was also like super important, this one. Yeah. But like talking more about Switzerland, like I mean, now that is like very different, but still similar, in
Mm.
some kind of way. What surprised you the most, like in good or bad ways, or
Mm.
both, because
Bueno.
every country is different. So what was your like impressions, or like what was surprising to you when you arrived here, or also like now after living 1 year here, like what surprised you the most?
Mm. Like in emotionally or like
Any kind of way,
any kind.
whatever comes to your mind first.
Well, that you know, going like comparing to Costa Rica, like you see these houses structure and like the buildings, and coming here is just like another era. And for me, I thought I will end up like in these type of buildings like people think about, like, oh, so modern. But when I came here, it's like this cozy feeling, like mountain feeling. Like the buildings are not that modern, like when if you go to Chicago or like United States in general, like to see these huge houses with, like, I don't know, like crazy stuff. But here it's just like you really feel that you're like in these how can I say it, like not old, but like is, I don't know, like the buildings, I have to say, like the structure in general, like it was so different for me. And I still amazed about it. Like for me, I really like this feeling of how can I say, like uh, that you only see in the movies, like this type of Europe style, like for example, like these Christmas markets. Then you see like little houses under the mountain, like those things. So for me, it was super impressive, um, because it's so different from Costa Rica. So that's when I put my first step here. I was like, holy, is it really like in the movies? So yeah, building style, yeah.
Interesting. I didn't expect that. And like now you had like a first impression, right? Like when you came here, you had
Mhm.
like the first impression and like a feeling about like Switzerland. And how much and how far did it change now, like after 1 year? How do you feel about Switzerland back then when you arrived, and now after 1 year?
I like that one. Bueno, ¿cómo me sentía yo en comparación al primer año que estuve acá? Porque es mi primer año. De cuando yo, los primeros días que llegué acá o meses, ahora que ya llevo un año, ¿cuál es mi impresión o cómo me siento? La verdad, me siento bastante más segura de mí, porque cuando llegas a otro país te sientes que ya no tienes ni siquiera identidad, porque no tenés nada, ¿no? O sea, sí tenés porque estás con tu pareja, porque estás en tu apartamento juntos, pero el hecho de pertenencia lo perdés. Y eso es algo que es muy difícil de manejar en los primeros meses. La verdad que para mí fue demasiado difícil el hecho de que yo siempre le decía, es que yo no tengo nada, pero él me decía, no, este es su apartamento, esta es su casa, pero no lo ves así porque cuando pensás, y yo tenía mi propio apartamento allá en Costa Rica, yo tenía ese sentido de propiedad y eso creo que es lo más difícil, o el poder económico de decir, ah, tranquilo, yo te invito a un café o yo te invito no sé, a ir al cine o cosas así, lo perdés. Entonces, creo que ahora, gracias a Dios que ya tengo trabajo, bueno, dos, dos trabajos, cosa que nunca había tenido en Costa Rica. Eh, Creo que ese sentido de pertenencia y de seguridad siento que está volviendo a mí, porque yo antes era bastante, bueno, una mujer bastante segura y la verdad que eso en los primeros meses lo perdí, yo me sentía que nadie y creo que ahora lo estoy volviendo a reconstruir y esa sería mi respuesta. So my answer will be like my um, this self confidence. I feel like in the first months when I came here, I didn't have that self confidence that I had before in Costa Rica. So that was super hard for me to reconstruct that because, well, you remember like every time that I wanted maybe to buy you a coffee, well, no, not coffee, but like a tea or whatever, or I wanted to invite you to cinema or something like
Yeah.
that, like I didn't have that possibility. And for me, that was super hard. But now, like now that I have a job, that two jobs, I was saying, um, that helped me a lot to have this feeling of, oh, we are living together, this is our apartment, like that I can support you more, because for me it was different to compare. Like in Costa Rica I had my own apartment and stuff, so I think that self secure of who I am, you know.
Yeah.
Also, like my identity, I feel that is coming back now. I feel more secure of who I am here, because leaving everything behind and building up a new person, you know, like you also change a little bit like your mindset, not fully, because I that's what I told you once, that I really don't want to lose my Costa Rican way of thinking, or like my Costa Rican nationalism. I don't know if it's correct the word, but yeah, I think that will be my answer.
Okay. Interesting. I when I prepared the question, I was like more like thinking in like what you thought about the country here, Switzerland, like what you were thinking or feeling about the country in the first month, and what
Okay.
you were feeling like after 1 year. Do you still think the same about the country? You had like the expectations, and is the same still, or it was completely different? You know what I mean?
Uh, like the country,
Yes.
like
For
people.
yeah, for
Or...
example, yeah. Like not about like you in that case, more like about like how you expected how it's gonna be here, and
Okay.
how you think now about the country, you know?
Well, I think like my first thought was like, oh, maybe Swiss people is more like uh, friendly compared to Germans. Not to say like, oh, Germans are bad, but like you know, you have this different perspective. But when I started here, like when I went to the trains, you know, uh, it's just sometimes a chaos because people are not that nice to you and they just hit you when they want to go into the train. Sometimes they don't even care about like if you uh, need help or something. They just pass through you like, yeah, whatever, it's not with me, you know. Also, like the trains, you know, for me, people always say like, oh, trains here are always on time. Like trains here are like everyone is on time, like everything's so perfect. But for me now that I'm living here, it's not that true, you know. Like I usually go to swimming like 3 days a week, and it's always a mess with the trains schedule. Like they always cancel, usually more often now. I don't know why. But you had this perspective of the country, like, oh, so order, organized. Of course, it's very organized compared to Costa Rica, like in terms of how clean it is. Like, for example, in San Jose, the no sé, en el Parque Central o donde sea, it's super dirty, and
Mm.
here is very like very clean. And I still think that is very clean country, and like of course the mountains are super beautiful. But yeah, I have to say, like, of course I changed a little bit my mind, that I thought like, oh, the trains are always on time. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree on that. Definitely, it's not as they always say,
Yeah.
as a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Mm,
So to maybe like finalize the questions,
yeah.
um, if you need to do a list with
Mhm.
like three, let's say 3 or 5 things
Uh-huh.
that were the biggest challenges through the year, can be anything personal, can be like stupid things for work, any kind of stuff, or orientation wise, whatever. What were like your top 3 to top 5 challenges that you had to face? I mean, one we definitely already said, which was like finding a job.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah.
Entonces, ¿cuáles fueron mis 3 o 5 o el top 5 de mis situaciones más difíciles que pasé al momento de vivir acá? Ya habíamos discutido sobre sí encontrar trabajo. Encontrar trabajo fue y aún, ¿verdad? Porque mi contrato no es full, no es es como interino. Entonces, el contrato ya el otro año se finaliza, pero vamos a ver qué pasa. Estar trabajando 2 trabajos, porque yo estoy trabajando ahora un 120%, entonces eso también ha sido todo un reto de mantener. You have helped me a lot with the jobs as well, like to search job, and
Mm.
like also with the other jobs, like to understand stuff and everything. So, and to support me with everything. So I appreciate that. I think the second one would be the language, of course. El lenguaje, obvio. Mi inglés no es perfecto, pero aquí tampoco les gusta mucho cuando la gente habla inglés. Entonces, y español menos, no le van a entender a uno, van a decir, ah, italiano. And you're like, no, it's not Italian. A veces piensan que es francés. Yo estoy aprendiendo, y es que tras de eso no es solo alemán, es suizo-alemán. So it's like 2 languages even, like it's German and Swiss German.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
for me, I think the second challenge has been the language barrier. However, now I feel like I understand more. Of course, it's not perfect. Like sometimes I just use one word and then people understand what I want to say. Like, for example, yesterday we were in the train and I wanted to say if it's a reserve, like the space. So I only said just reservir. The guy understood me, so that was good. But like, this type of yo siento cuando hablo alemán es como un bebé, como que solo digo una palabra y ya. Pero ahí voy. La verdad es que sí, pienso que la barrera del idioma ha sido difícil. Another challenge would be, I think the mindset, like the Swiss mindset. La forma de pensar de los suizos es bastante diferente. A ver, sí tenemos muchas cosillas como en común, pero siempre tienen esa mentalidad de muy estructurado o bastante serios. Por ejemplo, en el trabajo, a veces, bueno, casi siempre extraño mucho el desmadre tico. Em, Cuando uno trabaja siempre es esa bulla de tal, y que se hacen bromas y todo. Ah, for me, like I think the Swiss mindset has been like the other challenge, because sometimes, for example, like in work wise,
Mhm.
for me it's like sometimes I just want to have fun, like this environment of Central American environment, like people just telling jokes or
Yeah.
like making a lot of noise, like you know. For us, it's just normal at work because then we can have this nice atmosphere of like, oh, we're enjoying the work together. Um, so I think for me, it's that like being just quiet, being in your workplace and just doing what you need to do is like sometimes boring.
Yeah, that's true.
And I really miss that, you know. And adding to that, like for example, this time was my second like Christmas time here, because the first time I visited him to know his family, to meet his family. So for me, like this Latin America feeling, you know, like party hard, you know, like going crazy, like
Mhm.
just like that feeling is you don't see it here. You like you go out in the streets, it's so quiet. Like people are just like there eating, talking about I don't know, like work or oh we have this vacation plan. So for me, yeah, I can say that. And I don't know, like the fourth, what could else be?
That can also be three only.
Three.
Yeah, 3 to 5, whatever. Just like if you have more, then you can say. If not, then it's also fine.
Yo creo que sí, solo como esos, como la mentalidad suiza y al adaptarse, uno como centroamericano, de no ser tan bullicioso, no ser tan loco. este, a ver, uno tampoco es que tiene que perder ese sabor latino, ¿verdad? Y eso es bastante importante. Yo, en lo personal, siempre veo muchas chicas a veces que van y que cambian un montón por, por el esposo, digamos, que porque es europeo, entonces la mujer se vuelve europea, entonces la mujer ya no hace chistes vacilones, la mujer ya pierde todo lo latino. Y para mí, eso, no sé, cada quien, ¿verdad? Sabrá. Pero yo en lo personal, uno no tiene que cambiar porque está en otro país, ¿verdad? Sí hay que ajustarse, obviamente sí, hay que respetar las reglas, no puedes hacerlo un domingo a las 10 de la noche, no puedes ni siquiera limpiar o, bueno, we sometimes do this cleaning stuff on Sundays, which is not allowed, but pero pero sí, yo siento que la verdad es que uno no tiene que perder esa parte latina. Y el otro, bueno, que hablamos pues sobre el trabajo, que hay que ser bastante pacientes y si les sale alguna oportunidad, tómenla. O sea, no pueden ponerse a decir, ay, porque yo tengo este título, entonces no voy a trabajar en eso. O sea, nah, no se puede poner uno así, hay que darle a todo y ojalá de pues dar lo mejor de uno y ir formando su camino en este nuevo reto de estar en otro país, pues.
Anything else? Like anything that was better than expected? Because we talked a lot about struggles, but like anything that you expected to be super difficult, but in the end turned out to be easy.
I have something emotional on that one. It would be like living together. I think like I was a little bit not scared, but like maybe like from time to time I thought like, oh, because we haven't lived together like for such a long of period, then I thought like, oh, are we really gonna be able to handle like living together, you
Mm,
know? And it of course turned amazing and it's still amazing, of course.
yeah, true.
And yeah, I really love it. Always like we both have changed a little bit, like to good, of course, like uh, I have to understand how he thinks. He also needs to understand me how I think.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
in the beginning it was difficult, but now it's so much easier. Like now we are like, ah, yeah, it's fine. Or we just always see like both points of views. Like when we need to decide like important stuff. So I mean, of course, we still learn a lot about being as a couple and being married. Of course, that takes a long road to understand.
Yeah, of
Uh,
course.
yeah,
So learning every day.
yeah, learning every day. Yo
Sí.
creo que eso sería como lo que pensé que tal vez iba a ser difícil y era el vivir juntos. porque no habíamos tenido esa faceta de vivir, tal vez vivíamos como un mes y después ya se iba, y estar con esta a larga distancia, entonces obviamente no es lo mismo el convivir todos los días y que yo estaba como, uy, ¿qué pasaría si no somos compatibles con la parte de personalidad ya, básicamente, pero lo logramos y aquí estamos y de ahí, matrimonio siempre es 50 y 50 y tratar de siempre entender el uno a otro y no ser ese militar de decir, no, yo soy el que toma las decisiones y punto, ¿verdad? Jamás. Así que, ya.
Yeah. And maybe like, you know, things from now on, like for the future. Like we talked about the current state, like about the perspective maybe as well, and especially about our relationship as well. But like looking forward for, let's say, the next year, like what do we think about that? Like in general, like what are we looking for next year? You know what I mean?
Like, our goal
Yeah, for example, yeah.
in whatever, like,
Whatever, yeah.
okay. Mm. Um, ¿Cuál sería mi goal o cuál sería nuestro goal del próximo año? Yo creo que sería estabilidad, estabilidad porque como les comentaba antes, el trabajo que yo tengo no es al 100%, entonces es por contrato. Eh, entonces creo que sería estabilidad para tener paz. Tuvimos bastantes problemas ya ahí personales, eh, difíciles, gracias a Dios, no entre pareja, pero sí cosas que pasan, parte de salud, cosas que no se pueden controlar. Entonces, creo que lo más importante para el próximo año, ojalá, es bastante paz. Paz para los dos, que si pasan problemas, que sea un problema a la vez y no todos al mismo tiempo, porque ha sido tan difícil. Desde septiembre hemos pasado bastantes cosas juntas difíciles que a veces uno ya quiere tirar la toalla, como decimos en Costa Rica. Eh, pero sí, sería estabilidad y que ojalá los proyectos que hemos tratado de trabajar bastante años, porque él también tiene sus propios proyectos, yo también tengo mis propios proyectos, que tratamos de que alguno de todos estos proyectos pues pasen. Creo que ese sería como el mayor, de que tengamos ese home run, de que funcione. So yeah, regarding your question will be like, for me, first of all, peace, like a peaceful year
Yep.
as much as we could have, because this year had has been super hard for both. Like, it's not that we have one problem at a time. It's just like a lot of problems comes together, and it takes like for 3 months or something.
Yep.
So we only ask the destiny or God or any, like, that we can have these one problem at a time, and then also like our projects, that our projects can come true, that we have been working for so long. So hopefully, any of those projects together then can work. So yeah, that would be
Yeah,
my.
yeah, 100% agree. I mean, we already talked about that before, and
Mhm.
we are also agree on that. But yeah, I don't have any questions anymore at the moment.
Good, good. I think like the next time I will ask him questions will be also
Could also be
could
interesting, yeah.
also be interesting. Y sí, tal vez el próximo live que hagamos, yo le haría preguntas a él. Tengo que pensarlas bien, porque él es el que vive acá, entonces tal vez es como, no sé, preguntas sobre Costa Rica y cosas personales, obviamente la relación y así que pues, bueno, esas eran todas las preguntas. Este es nuestro primer podcast, esperemos que les haya gustado, que se hayan entretenido un ratito o también que hayan aprendido que vivir en el extranjero no es fácil y que no se crean todo lo que ven en las redes sociales de que, porque no vivís en otro país no eres exitoso, ¿verdad? Entonces, cosas como esa, la verdad que tómenlas con calma, sí, turistas, ser un turista en otro país es genial, pero vivir en otro país no es como lo pintan. So, yeah, that will be our podcast today. I really love the preparation that you had with the questions. It was really nice. And for sure, we're gonna make some questions next time for you. I will prepare them. And yeah, and I'm not sure if you want to say something else.
No, actually not.
No.
That's it.
That's
Thank
it.
you, everyone. Muchas gracias.
Yeah, he's learning Spanish.
Yeah.
Poco a poco, aprendiendo español de Costa Rica.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gracias, chiquillos.
Bye
Hasta la
bye.
próxima. Bye.